Hey, Podcast America. Welcome to episode 114 of the Enlightened Neanderthals. It has been a minute, but we're back, brought to you by my company, Training Northwest. At trainingnorthwestllc.com. We're going through some changes in 2026. No longer accepting digital or electronic forms of payment for range training. I take cash, silver, gold, livestock, or other barter because fuck the IRS. Mike, what are we talking about today?
Shit. I think we're talking about exactly what you just said. This grassroots movement, perhaps, of people not wanting to pay taxes and starting to rage against the machine or the system.
Control systems and fear. And speaking of control systems and fear, my soon-to-be wife, Christy, and I have started a business that we call the Grounding Method. Shop.com. That is our other business endeavor. And what we are teaching is metaphysical grounding, which in non-woo-woo terms is regulation of your own nervous system to make improvements in your day-to-day life.
Yeah.
Yeah. So enjoy episode 114. Stop laughing, motherfucker. Good night. Good night.
Good night, you guys.
Yeah, all right. Bye.
Feels like a first date. We haven't done this in a while.
Feels like
I got to go through
this is the
list.
first date after a breakup where it's like kind of awkward.
What have you been up to?
We've both seen each other naked. Let's just get past this part.
Yeah. Should we pod naked?
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a minute, man, because I went down hard I had this nerve injury we were just talking about, and the pain was so intense that I didn't get out of bed for a week and a half.
Well,
and even then only just to go to the couch and endure in pain there. And then that caused a bunch of muscle atrophy, and I didn't want to do anything other than sort of like lay around. It physically took it out of me as well.
Yeah.
Coming back into the land of the living in the last week.
Do you feel well rested from that much downtime?
No, not at all.
Like whenever I get the flu and then I get better, because you were sick. Yeah. And now you feel good, so now you're carrying that momentum. Like I was in the trenches, and now I'm a god.
Oh,
so
no.
I'm usually cartwheeling.
I'm still. I feel like I had the shit kicked out of me, and I'm just now starting to feel better.
Okay, it's just like you did a tour in Vietnam or something.
Yeah, it was a tour on the couch.
I mean, that doesn't sound bad. I've done many a tour on the couch.
Yeah.
Usually it's Saturday followed by a wild Friday night.
Yeah.
But yeah. It's been a while since I've been laid up pain-wise. I'm an injury. I mean, I've got a gang of knee surgeries, but even that, that didn't stop me. I could still go to work and take some crutches, but it wasn't like I was down, but it's just a nuisance, constantly. Whatever you want to do, you go to do it, and there's that pain, and it aggravates. Yeah, oh, fuck.
Yeah, this was a constant on signal. Level 10, constant on. It stayed at level 10 for 3-4 days and then receded to a 9 for a week and a half.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Are you going to try and come back better than ever after this? You going to do some bodybuilding?
I'm doing physical therapy right now, so I am going to try to build my shoulders than ever because I have a torn labrum in my left shoulder, and now this is this pinched nerve pain that's affecting the right side of my body, my entire right shoulder and arm. So yeah, I am going to try to rebuild.
Promotion for jiu-jitsu. Huh?
Come to Electric North. We'll wreck your shit.
Body's a temple.
Yeah.
Well, that sucks, man. I'm glad you're feeling better. Did you have a good Christmas and New Year's?
Yeah, great Christmas and New Year's. I was going to say, I legitimately don't know if I'll ever roll again.
Really?
Yeah, just because I don't know what caused this, and I do not want to go through that level of pain again.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Understandable.
At least I'm going to be very selective, like a
kids class.
Yeah, exactly.
Come on, I heard you talking trash, you little fuck.
Here, you little fucker. Yeah. Definitely only people when I do, if I come back for a long time, it will be a very selective rolling partners, only upper belts who have good volume control.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that makes sense, man. You just don't want to get hurt again and do that. Mm-hmm. I remember when I got my knee surgery, they're like, no rolling for a year. 6 months later, I'm like,
let's go, Daniel.
Yeah. Well, why does it keep popping?
Yeah, you eyeballing me, Dan?
Sure, I click when I walk upstairs, but get past that.
Huh. Well, a lot has happened since we last sat down and had a talk. This is January 3rd, so apparently we abducted the Venezuelan president last night. And there's also the thing that makes my rebel heart so excited is a lot of people are talking about a tax strike because everybody is really, it's like the Somali daycare thing sort of just broke the dam for a lot of people. Yeah. Trillions and trillions of dollars funneled into these fake daycares run by Somali. I don't even know if they're legal immigrants in most cases.
Are a lot of Somalis over here for asylum? Do they claim political refugee?
Yeah,
is probably the biggest
asylum
thing.
Status.
Yeah, out of Somalia. Oh, every time everyone's
still, it is an institutional level fraud, and it obviously has been recycled back into the two major political parties. And so, I think a lot of our officials have dirty hands in all of this, so they are going to try to suppress it. But I'm hoping. I don't know if I think. I'm just hopeful that the American people have finally reached their tipping point where they're going to start doing something.
Is there?
I'm so tired of the Instagram patriots who they're like, I'm going to post this meme. I am a patriot.
The Patriots.
Shut the fuck up.
The rebel yell.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude.
It's time for action. A tax strike is a perfect nonviolent protest.
Yeah.
Because what we are saying when you refuse to pay your taxes is I am no longer funding this thing that does not stand for the values that I stand for.
I've been doing a little bit of hiatus from social media and stuff over the last month. So Mike is not as current and trendy as he normally is. He goes down his own rabbit holes a little bit more.
It's Japanese sex robots or nothing.
But is there like a big is this like a grassroots kind of movement, or it's over Instagram more?
You're asking the guy who also doesn't pay attention to social media as much as I can help.
Well, where is this tax strike?
I think it is born of the Somali daycare scandal and people just being like, fucking A. This
another
is,
thing.
Right? Yeah, this is like the Pentagon has failed another audit.
Yeah, I saw that.
Then here's the Somali daycare scandal. And so we're looking at trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars at a time when healthcare costs are through the roof, grocery costs are through the roof, gas cost is through the roof. Like the American middle class is being squeezed to fucking death.
Yeah.
And then we find out where all our, you know what I mean? And then it's like, wait a minute, where is all of our fucking money going? What are they spending it on? So we don't know. The Pentagon, like I said, the Pentagon fails its audit, so there is money being hidden. I don't think that's oops, we misplaced it. That's hidden money. And then you have these, it's basically a slush fund for political campaigns. Like here, we funnel all of this taxpayer money into these daycare centers, which in turn funnel half of it back into these super PACs or into the Democratic Party or into the Republican Party to pay for all this political propaganda. So it's a giant circle of fuckery to bring the money back to the people who write the rules.
Now, is Doge still in existence?
I don't think
Do you
so.
know?
I don't think so.
But that's kind of what we learned through all the NGO stuff. Is it's just a funnel of money to. It seemed like maybe a lot more political and corporate, but it's like that seemed like a way to just launder money for whatever cause or group you wanted. So it just kind of seems like, even though we had a huge Doge, like, you know,
I think they put the cap on. They're like, fucking, hey, stop.
We're done too much.
And actually, Doge had a sunset. Like one of the, I think one of its like, oh, Jesus Christ, like founding conditions was that it was only going to be in existence for like 9 months.
Oh, really?
Because it was sort of like it was to show this is how government programs are supposed to work. They're supposed to have a sunset date, just like we're talking about taxes right now, right? A tax was supposed to have a sunset date. You institute it, like a city says, hey, we need 2 new fire trucks. So the citizens vote, they agree they need 2 new fire trucks, and we're going to institute a tax on meat sales until we reach $350,000, which is enough for these 2 trucks, and then that tax sunsets and ends.
No.
That's how taxes are supposed to work. We were never supposed to be saddled with these unending, just like, hey, you just owe 28% of your income every single year.
These went up 50% for the
Washington State wants to impose a 95% tax on nicotine.
Yeah.
Holy, and I'm sure ammunition will fall right behind that, right?
Do you know how much traffic Idaho's gonna get for guns.
I know.
Nicotine.
Yeah,
Just all this shit you
we should
can't
set
get
up Mike
in
and Toby's Guns and Tobacco Emporium.
Dude, well,
right on the fucking state line on the Idaho side.
Dude, well, that's how, like...
you guys want some cigarettes and fucking shotgun shells?
Dude,
Come on in.
we'll shoot a marb right in your mouth from 100 yards, dude. Well, isn't that how during Prohibition NASCAR started, right? It was due to not rum runners, but moonshine runners trying to evade the police. So they souped up their cars. Yeah. This might be an opportunity.
You ever watch the documentary Smokey and the Bandit?
With Bert?
We got to get these Coors beers to Colorado, boy.
I mean, that's not bad. Yeah, fuck. This state, dude.
Yeah.
And then you saw that thing the other day about how much the school boards are paying for per student and what the performance review is. Yeah. It went up like 100 something percent.
Yeah, the public school. Here's the thing, man. This entire system is built on falsehoods, right? Our money is false. Our fucking school system it's not education, it's propaganda. So it's false. It's like we have our society as a house of cards, and a house of cards eventually tips over. And we've reached the point where there's so much bullshit, there's so much lies. The top levels of this house of cards are far too heavy for a foundation that's made of bullshit to sustain.
Yeah.
So it literally is not capable of, it's in its death throes. There are desperate attempts to maintain power and control, and that's why it feels so dramatic.
Yeah,
it's all these last gasps, like
struggling for power,
like a drowning victim when there's they say you can't swim up in front of them because they're just
pull
reaching
you down.
Yeah, exactly. It's this system in society we have is.
Well, then shouldn't Doge be a permanent thing? Like, shouldn't government transparency in an auditor system to like monitor the government be a continual thing? Why would you ever put in
that's why you have things. That's why the control of the money went to the Federal Reserve, because it's not federal. There is no reserve. True, it's actually completely misleading. The name itself is the lie. So they put all these things in these external institutions that are not under. Doge can't go look at the Federal Reserve.
Yeah. Well, but how does the Federal Reserve even matter if we're so much in debt?
It created the debt.
But that's what I mean. Like, so it's like
it loans money to the United States of America Corporation, which then owes interest. So we get taxed so that the interest payment can be made back to the not reserve that created the money in the first place.
So is the Federal Reserve in the black while the United States, the entity, is in the red?
That's a good question. I can't answer that.
Nor can I.
Yeah.
That's why I have a podcast.
I think it is perpetually in the red so that it's always owed money. But that's done intentionally by inflation.
Yeah.
We're getting too intricate for me.
We have two of us. Yeah.
I understand the broad mechanisms, but details get a little fuzzy.
It seems to me as well, like, I think there's always been fuckery. There's never been an extremely altruistic or compassionate king or ruler that truly cared about the people of his city, town, whatever, before himself or his own family, right?
I think it's existed. It's just that
you probably have peaks and lows, but throughout history, most of history is a bloodbath, and it's people starving, and it's
most of recorded history.
Yes.
We only got 2,000 years of that.
True, but I bet a lot, I still have to think and
we don't really have 2,000 years of that. We have some stories, and we have some pretty whitewashed propaganda coming through our education system. It's really hard to find the real information. But I would question everything we've ever learned, been taught, or read about history.
But about a big group or collective, like, you can probably have a harmonious group of 100 people, and you probably can live a pretty good life in that band with sharing and communal.
Yes, I think government can only get as big as interpersonal connection and still work. Which means very small.
But so that means we're at a crazy point where the population has never been as big as it is currently. And to make that work right, I mean, it would have to take a real system of laws and rules, not only for the people, but for the government itself that's truly enacted. And like I said in the past or before, I don't think there's ever been a king or a ruler that's really cared about its citizens as much as he does himself or his own family. And I think greed, power, money, all those things are connected in ruling classes. And I think maybe why you would see, we've known throughout time, there's always like, corrupt Washington, DC, the swamp. But we're at a point technologically where everything gets thrown in your face so quickly, it's easier to absorb it. I think they said, like, if you look at the 1500s, if you read a newspaper today, you're more well-read than the average person that existed in the 1500s. Yeah. To get print and information to your hands was a very hard thing. That
had to travel at the speed of foot.
Yeah, speed of hoof,
The fucking Pony Express was the fastest information could travel.
But it's almost like maybe this is an inevitable thing. Like, I always like to think technology is a life form, but maybe that's how technology does progress, like the ability to have these transparencies.
Sure, we've covered this before, that technology is disruptive to old power systems.
But maybe it's just, this is the way it has to go. You have to fight. It's not like, oh, there was a magical kingdom thousands of years ago and everyone was great. It's like, no, I think to get to that great point, it takes so much death and time. And
And we could be at like speaking of greatness, like a tipping point of humanity, sort of remembering that each individual person is a sovereign being.
Yeah.
And you don't get like, no, motherfucker, I'm not paying you anymore. I'd no longer consent to the system where I work for your gain.
Yeah.
That's one of the big reasons I could not go to work anymore.
No.
I cannot continue spinning the hamster wheel for somebody else.
Don't worry, I picked up the slack.
Good.
That wheel's going fast.
How's those watts feel?
Oh, dude. Did I tell you about that flooding in my drive home?
No.
So when all that flooding happened, they shut down Highway 9 and they shut down like parts of
I need to clarify. I don't mean I didn't like the company I worked for. I don't like
the rat race.
The siphon.
Yes.
Right? You get your pay stub at the end of the week, and you see that a third of it has been.
Yes.
The union absorbed $300, and the state took $1,500.
Yeah.
And you're like, what the fuck?
Where's the rest?
Yeah.
And we don't get food stamps. What?
Yeah.
What was I saying? I'm trying to remember where it's just going. Flooding.
I thought you were going to come out this week. It's the new year.
I've been out for a while then. Yeah. When that flooding happened, it shut down a bunch of roads. I left work Friday at 5:15 after work. I pulled into my driveway at 9:15. It took me 4 hours to go from Woodinville to Granite Falls. Yeah, it was just crazy, the amount of traffic. But I mean, that's due to roads getting closed and shut down. But you could just see it was everyone getting off of work, and we hit traffic, and you look over and you see everyone in their car, like trying to cut lanes. Yeah. I myself watched Platoon in the second Sicario, so I had a great road trip. But then by hour 3, you look over and everyone kind of accepted the circumstances, and they're all kind of zombied out. And it's fuck, man, this is just a soul sucker, this daily thing, Yeah. It's like including my morning commute, that's a 5-hour drive just to get to work for another 8 hours or more.
Yeah. Do you know the symbolism of the black cube of Saturn?
I think you started to tell me, but I don't know.
I got a burp.
Is it like Ice Cube? Is he the black cube of Compton?
Today was a good day. So that in Greek mythology, Saturn is also Kronos. And so Kronos is the god of time. And in all the paintings of Kronos, you'll see like the old man eating the baby. And so he is the god who devours the future. He in the mythology, he eats his children as they're born because he is sacrificing the future to maintain the present status quo. He's afraid they will usurp his throne and he'll lose his power. Which very translatable if you think about elite sort of power systems, like what I'm talking about, that suck out of your paycheck every single week these energy draws, because your money is time and energy, right? Yeah. So this system is sucking energy out of you every single week. Saturn sacrifices the future to maintain the present status quo, and it is symbolic of repetitive, like that constantly trying and frustration and never getting out of the cycle, just being on that hamster wheel, spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning and doing it over and over and over and over again, almost like also like Sisyphus, the god who has to push the rock up the mountain every day, and every morning the rock is back at the bottom. That sounds familiar to everybody who has a 5 o'clock alarm to get up, get into that grind into the city, push the rock up the hill, and every morning that fucking alarm clock goes off again, and that rock is back at the bottom of the hill.
Yeah.
And so beginning to understand that the black cube now represents that enclosed system with a 1-to-1 ratio on every side, right? In a cube, every angle is 90 degrees, and every edge is 1-to-1, right? So it represents no growth. No matter what you put in, you get the exact same back out, as opposed to think like a Fibonacci sequence or the golden ratio, phi ratio, 1.618, right? So that there's growth. 1 to 1.6 is growth. Everything grows exponentially every single time, or in every repetition or every cycle. Mm-hmm. In a 1-to-1 system, nothing changes. The future is always the same. Like the present status quo can never change. So then you look at like how much of that symbolism is in popular culture. Muslims pray to the macaw, a black cube. Outside the Wall Street Exchange is a black cube. If you unfold a cube, it's 6 sides, you make a cross, right? So the cross itself represents the black cube. And all of this represents a system that keeps people just perpetually churning in that hamster wheel at a 1-to-1 ratio. So they can never get ahead. They can never get out of it. But it's not necessarily like it sounds bad, but it's not bad or good. It's literally a test. It's a crucible. It's something to recognize and then ask yourself, what keeps me in this? And what kept me in it was fear. Fear of the future and of insecurity in the future. So I was sacrificing that present moment, living in frustration, so that some point down the road, I would get like this digital injection of like, oh, here's your security. You get your deposit into your bank account, your deposit into your you get your health insurance card for another month, and we're putting money into your pension, which is like this nebulous thing that may or may not be there in 30 years, but we're also drawing money out of you for that. Yeah. Right? And so then you're just stuck in your cubicle in frustration, 1-to-1, day after day after day after day. And so I eventually I broke that fear that I would never have enough. And that is a fucking big one. That is a motherfucker to break. And I say that like it's easy. It's not easy to break. And I was able to exit that black Saturn cube system. And that was one of the big changes that's come over in the last year. And I know it sounds crazy as fuck, but it's very real.
Do you think it was easier back in the day, and I'll even say like 100 years ago or beyond, for an individual to rise in like society or monetarily or as was it easier for someone with less opportunity to become something better in the past? Does it seem like the system holds people back more? I think we've used a reference maybe of like the Wright brothers. Like, you want to go build a plane today and fly it, you're going to have the FAA up your ass and safety and health and OSHA and WISH. Years ago, none of that existed. So it was easier to kind of veer your course of life in the direction that you thought was.
We didn't have, like, think about the systems of control we've built where you now have, so let's take the Wright brothers. If you wanted to build a plane today, you're going to have the FAA up your ass. So all of these quote unquote officials and inspectors who are managing their own fear cycles through their employment at the FAA. And they're like, well, in order for me to maintain my security, I have to go to Mike and make sure that he's not out there creating something new. Like I have to go squash him.
Yeah.
Make him shut down his dreams, shut down his reality, regulate the fuck out of him, because this is my job and that's how I get my pension and my health insurance card.
Yeah.
So now you have all these people operating in their fear cycle, coming to shit on your parade and push you in, and then that means now you can't live your life creating. So you're like, fuck it, I'll just get a job at a machine shop because that's what I know how to do.
Yeah.
And now you're in your own hamster wheel of fucking Saturnian 1-to-1, just frustrated and fuck.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes me wish it's like this era is amazing. Don't get me wrong. I love the time era I was born in, and this is very interesting. I find what's going on throughout the world, but it does feel like you are in a perpetual loop a lot of times, and it is hard to break that cycle.
Most people are in a perpetual loop.
And most people that really make...
But also, sorry, let me back up a little bit too, because other systems existed before we had this level of communication technology and population where we have these regulatory systems. Think feudal Europe, where people were born and they were just told, hey, you're a peasant. It's been ordained by God that you are to be a peasant in this lifetime. Don't ever try to do anything different. Your role is to work these fields and ask for naught. And in the end, God will welcome you into heaven for fulfilling your role. Well, they were controlled from ever having any creativity or any sort of like expansion of themselves. So there always have been these control systems. The answer is they've adapted to technology and population growth.
Maybe modern government has turned more into the caste system than, it's just the new caste system.
You have the enforcer officials who are like, they sort of view themselves as high level authorities, but they're not. They've got their own little bubble fiefdom, whatever, where like, I'm the USDA inspector for this county and I'm going to come in and shut down your butcher shop.
Yeah.
Because I feel powerful.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Yeah. Give you a bad food rating.
Yeah. 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 But we are drowning in, government, little official like little mini tyrants who want to believe themselves important, but also fear that if they don't get out there and regulate the shit out of their little fiefdom, that they're going to lose their safety.
Yeah. Well, also too, things that are new don't have regulations on them. And talking earlier about a potential for you to grow and have growth, it's like you look at what's making the most money today, and it's a lot of internet, IT, stuff like that, but it's still kind of on the front. Like, Bill Gates made a lot of money off of computers when not a lot of other people knew of computers, right? Before that, people to invent the combustion engine, they made a lot of money. People that found oil and how to refine it, they made a lot of money. But as time goes on, once those inventions happen, it's like your ability to make more or to make a lot off of something diminishes. Because once again, rules, regulations, and also competition due to numbers. But it feels like that part of that freedom too is being able to make the new discoveries, to have the things that push the future of a society or group or humanity. And when you're stuck more, that's why I feel like so much happened in like from the 1700s or 1500s on. It's because, dude, all you had to do is fucking look out a window, go milk a cow. And I think it does provide a lot more time for free thought and stuff like that. But like you're saying, if you're in that rat race, okay, you're working 8 hours a day plus, you're stuck in 5 hours of traffic like me. You got to go shop. You got to cook. Then you have kids on top of that. Yeah. It's like, what time do you really have to figure stuff out?
You don't. And that's another good point is we're kind of we're at this tipping point where people need to look around and look at what their life has become and what they want it to be. And if you're frustrated because you're not getting enough time at home or you're not getting enough time doing the things that are important to you, it's time for everybody to just fucking stop.
Yeah.
Just quit.
Yeah.
Because you don't get this back.
Yeah.
And I think, again, we're back to like trusting in abundance and wealth, that there will always be enough. Like no matter what I have gone through in my life, the only time I've ever been hungry has been when it's self-imposed.
Yeah.
In 45 years, I've never been hungry unless it's self-imposed. There will always be enough. And it's you have to get beyond the idea of that to where your nervous system believes it too. And that's the real trick. You want to talk about like the real magic of all of this woo-woo spirituality stuff is getting your nervous system to understand that your body is safe.
Yeah.
And that's hard to do. But once you get there, it sort of opens up the floodgates, because then you stop making decisions out of fear and you begin making decisions out of curiosity or joy or love, or and you start
personal content.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You start following contentment instead of safety.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm at right now. Like I feel so lucky that I am, aside from the nerve injury, I am living, aside from incredible, horrible pain.
The true fear.
Yeah. I'm living a life of like extreme contentment. And it's not super rich and it's not super poor, but I am doing things that matter to me all day, every day.
Well, yeah, it just sucks to constantly feel thin, like a little piece of butter over a whole loaf of bread. You're like, there's not enough of me to go around.
That's what those last couple months at work. This is another good point too. Like I had reached a level of exhaustion where I knew I was giving myself some sort of like terminal illness.
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit, my body's breaking down.
I'm getting cancer.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it might have showed up as cancer. It might have showed up as heart disease. It might have showed up as just fucking something. The reality was I was so fucking run down from just spinning that hamster wheel and chasing not my own fulfillment. Nothing I was doing, or I shouldn't say nothing, almost nothing I was doing was for myself. Everything was to satisfy these societal, like, you have to provide this for your kids and you have to do that. And there's all these things you have to do before you can think about leisure time.
Yeah.
That's a fallacy we've been sold. You should be thinking mostly about leisure time and contentment and satisfaction. The fuck?
New dog.
Yeah, wolf puppy. She does what she wants.
Yeah.
Fuck, that broke my train of thought. Contentment. People should be following contentment and releasing the fear of not enough. And you may have to go through some dips and some hard times. And the same thing with this tax strike. It may mean that you lose access to your bank account, which is full of false fucking matrix tokens anyway. It's all fake. You may lose access to your health insurance card. We may go through there may be some scary times. That's what everybody really doesn't want to admit, is there may be some fear. We don't want to let go of our safe bubble of where we know, hey, this is where my groceries come from. This is what I do when I wake up in the morning. And these are my frustrations, but I got it all sort of like everything's sort of in its place. If we actually do this tax strike, we're getting outside of our safe bubble where all our fears and our pressure zones are all going to be rearranged and we have to figure out the whole fucking thing again. But then you can let go of the control system, because it's the control system that provides you your little bubble of safety. You can't have both. You cannot have your bubble of safety and freedom. The two are not, they're not congruent.
Do you think 1940s America, 1930s to 1940s America, it was more of a balance of the two?
No.
No?
No. I think post-industrial revolution, no, actually, because we already went back, like we talked feudal system in Europe where people were just told they're serfs and it's their job to work themselves.
Yeah, but I mean like...
And then think like the eradication of American Indians. Soldiers were told it's manifest destiny. God wills you to go west and take over this land. People to have it. And they all like hook, line, and sinker were like, roger that, let's go kill some Indians and put them on reservations.
Yeah. Well...
MAGA.
MAGA. I mean, a lot of those Indians were pretty nefarious too. I mean, there was a lot of gang rape and war.
According to the textbooks at the Western school, they were.
True. But
the white man's school taught us that they are.
Yeah, but like even the Comanche stuff, even their tales are like, it's just killing other nations, like other Indian nations.
I haven't read any Comanche tales.
There's some good ones. Comanches were nuts. That's why they say the revolver is what finished off the Comanche, because we had all our dorks with their muskets and they would ride horses and hang off the side and shoot multiple rapid fire And you got some, just scratching.
Just want to make sure she's not peeing on the floor over there.
Some tall, lanky guy like jamming his gun. Yep. But I think, yeah, I think just people were nuts back in the day. It doesn't matter whether you lived in a tribe or you lived in a huge city. I think most people were the craziest of crazy. Like, look at all the people that did that Western expansion.
Do you know about the Indian schools?
Like in Canada?
They're here too. There was one right where I grew up called Pascal Sherman Indian School.
Oh, really?
Yes. And it's still in operation today. It's less severe than it was.
Well, yeah, there's probably less bodies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but where they literally took away the children from the tribes, put them into a government school, forced them to speak English. They were not allowed to speak their native tongue, and basically forced them to adapt to our way of life. So I don't trust anything that was written about their history. Not a fucking chance.
Okay, so what I was saying about like 1940s America and like this new grassroots movement of people saying we're not paying taxes is that like in the 40s or 50s, I felt like maybe America had more. Maybe why this is happening too is like this was a slow build, but COVID was the everything. I think people feel like my money has no value. My community safety is not great. My children's education is not great. I mean, look at us in Russia for the space race. Education was everything. And we were putting out smart people that actually knew how to do math.
Yeah, mechanical education. But there was... It's funny, I was thinking about, because Christy and I are doing this business we call the grounding method, where we teach people about metaphysical grounding, which is basically using nature to regulate your nervous system. And it is no coincidence, I think, that I spent 15 years doing electrical construction work, because electromagnetism is electricity, but also electricity is like, that's what runs your nervous system. You are an electromagnetic being. And even at the smallest building blocks of the universe are neutrons and protons and electrons. They're not solid. There is no solid matter. It's all electromagnetic pressure zones and force. I got distracted by the puppy again.
Space race, Russia, U.S. education.
And so it dawned on me. I've only kind of tickled the edges of this thought, but mechanical education is very heavily taught. But we were not taught anything about electromagnetism beyond, like, remember you do like a couple like DC circuits with a battery and making a light bulb in like 9th grade science.
Yeah.
Why weren't we taught about electromagnetism? Because that makes me think that leads directly into the spiritual side of science.
Or it's just a longer concept that's why it's usually in higher education in high schools or in finishing schools more.
They taught us a lot of mechanical education.
They did, but then it's like the same thing of like propulsion, physics. It's like you get a little bit of base of it, but I feel like all that takes off later in life. Like, what's that religion?
Electromagnetism is very fundamental to the universe. It should be included in all of our sort of base science.
Yeah.
What I'm proposing as a rabbit hole conspiracy theory is that if you start pulling that thread of electromagnetism, before too long you get to God.
Yeah. Mr. Parker taught me about God in 8th grade. I got it.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Duh.
Positive pull, negative pull. Duh.
Yeah. Huh. But I think also, so yeah, for these taxes and stuff. So I feel like, but people are very complacent, like you said, when they're comfortable. And I feel like the United States did provide, depending on your color, or whatever was culturally accepted at the time. But I think they tried maybe more sense of community, more sense of safety, more sense of a national purpose, especially after World War II. Like that, World War II was when we're the greatest army in the history of the entire world. And here's part of our national pride. And I think we kind of thought
the Russians are the greatest army. And
yeah.
they did. They beat the Nazis. We took the credit.
But we developed the nuclear bomb.
We provided them with trucks.
And we gave the Japanese the what for. We're like, you guys sell it on down.
Yeah.
You know?
Suck it, Japan.
Because you look at World War II and it's like, okay, how many people died in Europe? It's like, it's quite a few. And then you look at how many people died in Asia and it's like 20 to 30 plus million. It's like, it's crazy.
Is it really that many?
Yeah.
I think they say 1.5 million people died in the European theater.
1.5 million?
Yes.
I'm going to say a lot more. How many Russians died alone? It's like 18 million.
Maybe that's civilians. Hang tight. Let me Google it.
And civilian casualties were the largest. Googling. We need Jeopardy music. I want to say Europe's like 36.
Oh, Rwanda. What the fuck? There we go. European Theater of Operations. U.S. Army personnel, 104,000. I don't know. I don't want to sit here and look at my fucking...
But yeah, Asia, throughout the Pacific and Indochina and those areas, it was just as high.
Have we had a single episode that we have not somehow wrapped World War II into?
Dude, it matters.
One of our super fans needs to go back through whatever 100 and some episodes we're on, find out if we made it through one without mentioning World War II.
I think Gay Jordan, the 100th episode.
Right.
Yeah. Right. I think that might have been the only one.
And speaking of Gay Jordan, we're still waiting for a baby today.
Yeah, we are.
Their due date was December 22nd. Today's January 3rd. It should be any minute.
Dude, I told you, Red Bull and trampoline, that kid will come flying out.
I suggested a pot of coffee and some jumping jacks.
Yeah, exactly. It feels like good science, you know? Yeah. That's the scary part is...
That's experience is what that is, brother.
No, the scary part
is experience.
That's how medicine used to work in the day, dude. They're like, all right, I want you to hold this deer foot, jump up. Yeah. Shooting at babies, man. Oh, man. Why this is tax strike. But I felt like maybe there was more of a sense of like the United States was like, we're the best. We're going to keep everyone like, we'll help keep the world in line, like world police. And as more and more of like the veil gets lifted, society starts to fall, like that education and money chart that we all saw the other day for Washington State. It's like as things keep getting bleaker, that's when people really act. Like that's the founding of the United States and leaving Europe. You're a peasant your entire life. You have no option. Fuck that. I'll ride in this boat with these rats for 4 months, come over here, and then go kill a whole horde of Indians. And then I've got 5 acres. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think part of it's happening too is just the average person that lives in the apartment is like, this is even getting bad for me, for everyone.
But I think it's because, my opinion, is that it's because you have a generation now of like late 20-year-olds. They can't buy a house. They can't they're looking at the future and it's pretty bleak.
Yeah. And that's kind of scary throughout history
And because we have these tools of communication, like these microphones we're on right now, you have people who are a little older and we've been kicked around for 45 years who are saying, don't enter this system. Yeah, I am telling my kids, don't enter the system. I'm not sure what the correct path is, but I do know, don't sign the consent forms.
Yeah. It's hard because I think you have to, like an ant colony, like if a bunch of ants are just like, fuck this, I'm out, we're just going to do our own thing. Well, then the colony suffers.
A Bug's Life, right?
I never saw it.
Okay. It's about the one ant that realized, he's like, wait a minute, the fuck are we doing? Why is everybody struggling away without, you know what I mean? Like, what about us?
Then what happened?
Do we get to be content?
What happened when he went on strike? The spiders take over?
Everybody died.
Yeah. The end. That's America, baby.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah.
Uh-oh.
I don't remember the end.
Yeah.
I think in the end, it's a Disney movie. The good guys won.
But I mean, to make a colony work, it has to be, cohesive, like a group together.
Right.
And as the group starts to fall apart or individuals start to fall out, that's when you get chaos. They always say what's worse for society is when you have large groups of young men with no purpose or anything to do. That's when you get genocide. That's when you get war. That's when look at Europe.
Yeah.
Or Germany, World War II, bringing it back. But Germany's like, fuck, dude. We got no jobs. Our men have no money.
Yeah.
Let's kill the Jews. And all the young guys are like, right on, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's more like young men like that are susceptible to conditioning.
But also when you don't have a lot, someone dangles a carrot, it's easy to take that carrot.
All that German youth had been brought up in a German government school, like the Hitler Youth, right? So those young men had been heavily conditioned from childhood. What if you conditioned your children to just be truthful to themselves, pursue contentment unto themselves?
Yeah, but you don't think you'd have children that still come out radical or wild, like an Attila the Hun?
The things I have felt in myself, I don't think that would happen, because when I broke, like the moments where you break away from these control systems and realize that you are truly sovereign on the inside, not the out. Like, it doesn't matter what they do to my body. The police can come here right now, throw me on the ground, kick the shit out of me, put me in a cage, or shoot and kill me. They won't get my consent.
No.
They can fuck up my physical body. They cannot have the consent of my energy and my spirit.
Yeah.
So once you realize that, you realize you're completely separate of all these systems. It frees you up to pursue the things that matter to you, the things that bring you contentment. And I'm not ruled by rules anymore. Rules don't fucking matter one bit to me. What matters to me is morality and what I know to be right from wrong. I've followed those guidelines exclusively.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck about your laws. I don't give a fuck about your rules. I give a shit about what I know inside to be right and wrong.
But don't you think?
And and I realize I'm saying that the entire world population would have to wake up for this to happen, but also that is within the realm of possibility, even if it's unlikely. But when people realize that their morality is there, it's baked in, you came with it. So this is what true anarchy is. True anarchy is not about burning down buildings and smashing cop cars and going wild in the streets. True anarchy is about the lack of these control systems that draw energy off of us, because we don't need it. Morality is with us. You do not need to be controlled when you are in touch with your morality.
But don't you think it's easier to say that at your age than it is at 19? You have experiences.
Nobody taught me these things as a child.
But I mean, you have time to ruminate and think about and go through life lessons, and it leads you to this point.
Right. This is why our kids should not be in government school all day, every day. They should be with parents and family all day, every day. The whole system is meant to sort of funnel people into these control networks or control mentalities.
Oh man, it's all day, every day with your family,
or out in the woods with your cousins.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But I mean, school
not in an apartment. I'm not saying like everybody's supposed to be locked in an apartment.
Yeah,
like it's fucked up on so many levels.
Yes. But what do you do with everyone?
I don't know. I'm not saying I have all the answers at this point. It's almost like an individual battle. Like, I know what I can do for myself, and that affects that affects the people in my direct contact. That's it. That's all I got. That's all I can actually really do is myself.
Yeah.
And then there will be some overflow effect to my direct contacts, and that's all the influence I can have.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. It's a weird point in time when people lose trust in people around them, like the hierarchy, not just the hierarchy, but how things normally work.
Institutions.
Yeah.
The institutions have shown their ass. We've lost our trust in them, and what we're witnessing in real time now is their collapse.
Well, not excuse me,
because we were taught to believe in the institutions. Now we see that they're false.
Well, not only
some people are clinging to the belief for their safety, but they also know. They know. You can see it. It's so close to the surface now. It's only a matter of time.
Well, and not only the institutions, but the people that were supposed to be the checkers of the institution, which is press, media,
all controlled.
It does. They're not independent. Now there's more independent journalists, it seems like, due to online stuff, but
even those, you keep finding out that like the guy you've been following on Instagram that you thought was an independent, like he gets more and more entrenched, and then it's like, oh, wait a minute, he's just a paid fucking influencer for this propaganda, for this camp or this political action wing. And
but it's just kind of it's a breakdown of all. It's like it doesn't feel like it's the car and we're driving down the road and someone's like, oh, we ran out of gas. It feels like they're like, we ran out of gas. We lost a wheel. The windshield's cracked. The wipers don't work. It feels like everything's falling down at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah. And maybe the answer is to not resist it. Like, yeah, the system's crumbling and everybody's going to try so hard to prop it up because, again, they want that safety of the familiarity, and they want to believe that the system will be there for them. But also the system isn't there for them because you can't afford healthcare. And when you do go to the doctor, it's these bullshit fucking like Optum. I don't know if everybody who hears this has Optum care, but it's like this conglomerate that sort of has absorbed all healthcare in the area where we live. And it's just shit. It's just shit. So it's like the system doesn't actually work that well. All of your money and your time and your energy out of you. The product it's giving you back is fucking garbage.
Beyond garbage. Well, and you see how much money they make. It's like you look at your ER bill and it's like, I got a gauze bandage when the dog went ham on my finger, and they're like, $75 for a piece of gauze? Yep. It's like you can get 12 of those for $1 at Rite Aid.
Yeah, I'll run get you some replacements at Safeway. I'll be right back.
Docks that off the bill. Yeah, it is. It just kind of feels like everything's just gotten so far away from what a good standard of living or true reality is, that it's like the rails are kind of coming off in a way. And that's when you get people really speaking out. And maybe it's because
hang on, but you're right. The rails are coming off. It's falling apart. I just had this thought. I got to say it. Let's let it. Why keep feeding it? Why keep propping it up? This tax strike is a non-violent way to just let the system fall apart. And that sounds scary. But like, here's a jujitsu analogy is, let's say Mike gets me into side control and I want to get my guard back. Well, I can't just pull my knee underneath his hips and get my guard back. I have to create space first. And until I create space, I can't get myself into a new and better position. So for as long as this system exists, we cannot create a new and better system that serves us. We must have space. This system must crumble if we are going to create a new system that works for us. So this what people need to understand is that this is not something to fear. Understand that it may be difficult for a short time, but this is an opportunity. This is an opportunity to create something new.
Yeah.
So let's let it fall apart. Stop funding it. Stop consenting to it. Just let it. You don't have to do anything. You have to do nothing.
We're like entering a cocoon phase for metamorphosis.
Yeah.
Well, and then it's tough too, because it feels like people are so divided on the issue right now. It's like, to me, it feels like people fall into two camps. One camp is that,
man, I see the magic sorcery of it all too. Like the emotional sorcery of it is, if you don't pay your taxes, then what happens? You get a threatening letter, right? They're trying to scare you into doing something. Do something, but just do nothing. And then what? Then they send someone to your door to try to scare you into do this, do something, do what we told you. Do nothing. The real resistance is just fucking, no, I'm not going to do anything.
Mass group. Yeah.
Stay calm. Stay still. Hold the stillness. Do nothing.
But it's tough because I feel like half the nation is government will make everything better. Fear. Yeah. And then the other half is saying like, government is the problem. The creation of a huge, large government got us into this situation. And it's like, it feels kind of like split. Like you look at the last election, it was pretty much 50-50.
Even the people who are saying the government is the problem, they're still afraid to live without it, because they want to know that groceries are in the store, the power will turn on when they flip the switch, and they will sacrifice their freedom for the security of that.
But don't you have to have at least the thought before you can enact the action? Like, at least those people know that. Well, I guess I'm saying that.
Yeah, a lot of them are asleep to their own fear.
Yeah.
They don't understand that they're caught in a fear cycle.
Yeah.
That's why we're talking about it, Mike.
The black cube of fear, baby.
Black cube of the Neanderthals. Let's fucking go.
Yeah. I don't know. It's wild. It would be interesting if this feels like a very Marjorie Taylor Greene thing. Like, we're done paying taxes, but fuck. Everyone, 2020 changed everything.
Yeah.
I think this could be the time.
These are revolutionary times.
Yeah.
The technology is evolving. Humanity is evolving. The old system can't keep up.
God, I want to be a leader, dude.
All right.
I want to be a dictator, dude. I think the people need more Mike in their life.
Oh my God.
That's what the Americans need.
One nation under Mike.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was a
what
ring.
A ring.
Yeah.
Fuck, dude. I got to pee already.
Okay,
Have we already been going for an hour?
We've been talking for an hour. We could cut it right here.
Now let's go. We'll come back for a little Venezuela.
The only enhancements I have are my like nerve pain ones. It's like indica infused with like NyQuil and Quaaludes.
I thought you meant pills.
Yeah, no.
What's that glass pipe?
Yeah. If we get enhanced on this break, we'll just be drooling in the couch. So let's just go pee.
All right. And we are back. So sober, we should be in church.
Right.
This feels like a shame.
Indica infused with NyQuil and Quaaludes.
Did they give you anything heavy for your...
I had a nerve blocker called gabapentin.
Yeah.
That was effective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no good stuff?
I didn't want any. They didn't offer, and I would not have accepted.
Oh, you get out of here, dude. I love me a pain pill when I'm injured.
Dude.
That was the best part about surgery, dude. They gave me like 90.
That's why we're not trusting you with the keys to the fucking nuclear codes.
Dude, no. This should be even
one nation
more
under Mike.
Even more
not
trust.
Fucking happening.
Even more trust. They gave me 90 Percocet on my knee surgery. 90. But
smoked them all.
Shoved them up my butt. But it's like they were perfect, man. It was like 2 weeks of cat naps, going pain, just constant ice, keeping my healing. Because normally it's like, dude, I want to be up. I want to do something. It's like, dude, you're going to fuck yourself up more doing that. Yeah. So it was nice to take those. And then I got done with them and I was like, I could go. I still had leftovers.
Yeah,
and I ended up.
Most people don't.
Yeah, I think that's a problem. But maybe it's because I've had, experience with other things and it's like, oh, this is pretty nice too. I remember though, when I had my knee surgery, like I had those pills and for the first week, I just stayed on the couch and slept just through the whole thing. And then it was like, all right, I'm going to smoke some weed. And then I smoked and it was instantly like, oh man, my leg hurts. All right. Would they say pump your foot so you don't get a blood clot? I'm going to get a blood clot. Oh my God, I've got a blood clot. You get that anxiety sometimes. Yeah. And then like 20 minutes later, you're like, all right, I'm fine. But yeah, pain pills are good in times. I like them when they're needed.
This PSA is from Mike Kozak.
Hey, could you imagine World War II without them giving you the hit of that little needle?
Morphine.
The morphine. Yeah. Did you know?
That would change all the movies.
Oh, yeah. It would. It'd be a lot more screaming. Heroin didn't used to be illegal in the United States, but heroin was first used, like they had opium dens in China and the whole Britain, Hong Kong thing. But when they started to refine it and make it more pure, that like it might have been like 1865 or something, that they tried marketing it to sell to children and they would rub it on their gums for when they were teething.
Oh, yeah. Dude. What did they call? Oh, God damn it. I can't think of the name of it. You remember the movie Tombstone and Wyatt Earp's wife is always laudanum? Is it laudanum?
Yeah,
is that what it's called?
Yeah, I think so.
Yes.
That's a crazy time of when it was like elixirs because they were finding out. They're just throwing
the Wild West, dude.
Yeah,
you can mix up if you could sell it out of a suitcase.
Snake oil, baby.
Yeah, fucking A.
Go massacre some Indians. And then write a textbook about what didn't happen.
Right? Yeah, there you go. Now you're catching on, Mike. Now you're catching on.
All right. We're getting in the weeds. What do you know about what do you think is happening with Venezuela? Apparently we captured him and his wife and they're on a plane to Epstein Island.
This is the largest oil reserve in the world.
I know. That's why I think, Do you think this will...
And also, here's the other thing, is that in the last 5 years, Venezuela had stopped accepting U.S. dollars for oil.
Yes.
They were only trading in yen, rubles, and euros.
Chinese, yeah.
So the empire cannot stand for that.
Do you think it will make our oil prices go down?
I think cocaine's going to get more expensive. Oil's going to get less expensive.
Do you think that we will continue to occupy Venezuela after this? Or
that's a great question, because apparently the strike last night was a true raid, which means no stay behind troops, like in and out.
Yeah.
Everybody's out. So maybe we are learning a lesson, which is do not occupy a footprint. But I also don't know. It'd be interesting to know what is the goal. And this is, again, Bush started it with war by executive order so that he doesn't have to talk to the public. So we really don't know. Trump authorized this strike. This did not go in front of the Senate Armed Forces Committee, and it was not voted on by Congress to institute a state of war with Venezuela. So Trump is acting unilaterally, almost like a dictator on this one. So we really don't know the goal. What is the mission? What is the high level mission? We don't know. And I'm sure that the answer is something surface level, like disrupt the drug trade, and which is true. China does send raw materials for fentanyl to Mexico via South America. So this is there's all this geopolitical jockeying around. It's around minerals, oil, and narcotics.
Yeah.
And so this one involves oil and narcotics.
Yeah. I think narcotics is kind of like a secondary, or for the drugs.
It's minerals and oil are the real, lithium, cobalt, and oil.
Yes. But it makes me want you look at what happened in Iraq, when you get a power vacuum. And so it'd be interesting to see. It's are we going to prop up someone and put them in there and be like, oh, the Venezuelan people. I
also think he took the last election by force. So I don't think I'm not spun up on Venezuelan geopolitics, but I believe that they will be happy that he's gone. Yeah. Who replaces him? Will it be a U.S.? I would assume it's a U.S. puppet who's going to sell us all the oil at low cost that we want.
But we saw that with Gaddafi. We saw that with Saddam. Yeah. And how did that end up turning out?
You'd think these guys would get wise to the hey, U.S. wants me to be in charge. That means they're going to kill me in 10 years.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. That's what I mean. It's oh my God.
Yeah.
It was crazy. I woke up this morning and saw all that on the,
you're going to sell us cheap oil for 10 years and we're going to kill you and replace you with somebody else.
That's kind of what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
But then once that happens, it's the state usually falls into disarray.
Yes.
Yeah. So Venezuelan thing's wild. And I feel like you do see, I feel like Iran, China, that kind of, I would say North Korea, but what are they really doing?
Nobody's talking about Israeli influence this morning.
Yeah, not at all.
Everybody's forgotten about that shit.
Yeah. Do you think there'll be protests? Oh, I'm sure there'll be protests.
It's probably already started. Huh. Who knows? Down on Capitol. That's again back to people's identities for their sort of their safety and their place in society. There's people getting ready to protest on Capitol Hill tomorrow that they don't really even understand what's going on. They just know they're protesting because they hate Trump.
Do you think you're seeing more protesters because there's a lack of job force, tough economy, so they're let's just go protest,
sure,
make noise about it?
Yeah, it's a great way to take that angry youth that we were talking about before. That's so easy to mold to go exterminate Jews, right? Yeah. You can put those same people into an Antifa fucking group and have them go burn down Seattle. Yeah, it's the same. It's the same
thing, just different direction. You're leading them. Yeah, the Venezuela ones, it would be, I mean, you're not, like you said, Trump's kind of acting like a dictator on this, so it's you're not going to get a list of what are our full objectives? This is what we're planning. At least Iraq and Afghanistan, they're all right, here's a plan. We're going to build these governments, or
but it was this plan with no end. It was we're going to institute democracy. How long is that 5 years? Is that 15? One? What are we doing? What's our budget cap on this?
You give me 20 minutes. Yeah. I got you. Yeah. Yeah. So it makes me wonder, is this is this the start of another ongoing long thing? And especially if China or Iran want some of this, because it does seem like there is a fight for South America and having ability and proximity. You know, I think China would love to have some ships or, you know, bases or something around there. And it does feel like this is kind of all coinciding with changing geopolitical lines and stuff. I mean, I think China's really trying to become number one. Well, we know they are, and look at the Taiwan exercises that have been happening, but you see it happen. It's like, oh, 9/11, and you're like, that's crazy. That sucks for all those people that died, but we'll rebuild and things will keep going on as normal. And it's like, it has not been normal. It changed our path, how we're seen in the world, our endless wars.
It exposed the empire is what it did.
Yeah. So just seeing that, it's like, ooh, what's going to come of this that, you know, isn't even in your head? That's
you're right.
Coming down the road. It's like, ugh. Although it gives us more content. So bring it on, world.
That's right. And in the meantime, stop funding it. Just say no.
Oh, we bringing back DARE.
Yeah,
just say no.
Just say no. Yeah, that's right. DARE to keep kids off taxes. Just say no.
What was that dog?
McGruff the crime dog.
Yeah. Maybe
take a bite out of crime.
McGruff the tax dog.
That's right. Take a bite out of taxes. Just say no, kids.
That's probably a good spot to end it on.
That's a pretty good spot to end it on. Guys, like and review the show. I know it's been a minute. I don't know if we'll still manage every week. Everything's topsy-turvy everywhere. But we'll be here as often as we can. And maybe one of these days we'll get our boy Jordan in here for a reunion episode.
Baby pod.
All right. Later.